Okay, good morning, everyone. Until the slides are, are being uploaded, I want to say thank you, Hal. It was amazing just to see the examples, living examples of students, learners, youth taking action, computational action. That's incredible. And as Hal noted, everyone, and the most important people are actually here, as you said, teachers, educators, students, learners, everyone, everywhere, that's the potential, would be able to take action and use this powerful technology for good, to do good things for the world, because the world can benefit from this technology and your ambitions and your actions. So thank you for that. It's a pleasure to be here today at the second MIT AI and Education Summit hosted by the MIT Raise Initiative. A special thank you goes to Marisol. I'm not sure she's here, but she was super helpful and great during the preparation for this summit, and Hal, of course, and Eric that I got to meet here, and of course Cynthia that I had the pleasure to share this stage with you last year at a Google conference, education conference, and it was a huge pleasure. Let me know when we have the slides. Okay, we have the slides, guys. Okay. So thank you for having me. MIT has always been synonymous with pioneering innovation, so I feel privileged to be here. Hal already introduced me. I'm Ronit. I'm a senior director at Google and an AI literacy lead at Google Research. This is part of my job, part of my role, my day-to-day role. And I feel, by the way, for years now, I've been working on education and literacy and STEM studies, and also at Google, even before Google. And for the next 30 minutes, I want to talk to you about AI, arguably the most transformative technology of our lifetimes, and its impact on learning and education. I believe that this is one of the most exciting topics these days. And yeah, at Google, as you know, needless to say, we are driven by, we are driven to push the frontiers of what this technology can do and how it can be most helpful. So, over the past few months, you've probably woken up each morning to discover new announcements filled with excitement about AI developments that are rapidly impacting education. This includes new tools for teachers, discussions about agentic tutors, and broader conversations on how AI will transform education entirely. Now, more and more, we are also seeing top-down plans and policies coming from governments and ministries of education, integrating AI into all educational journeys, from K-12 to higher education. Of course, there are a lot of open questions about where we are heading, and I think we can all feel this thing is moving incredibly fast. But one thing is clear, and I think that was mentioned also by Eric and by Hal. Education is entering a completely new era. Now, I'm gonna do a quick exercise similar to what Hal just did. I bet you actually covered it, Hal. I bet that if we did a quick survey asking for just one word to describe how people feel about AI in education, we'd get a whole spectrum of emotions. And I saw how many people actually a bit scared, a bit concerned about AI, how many people are optimistic about AI, right? So we have this full range, full spectrum of emotions. And by the way, this, what you see here on the screen, we facilitated a workshop in London just last week with educators and learners, and these are just a few words that teachers and learners mentioned. And as you see, on one extreme, there's a sense of empowerment and excitement, and on the other hand, this sense of fear that I acknowledge, we acknowledge. I recognize that the excitement is linked to the opportunities that AI brings to the table, but the fear and the anxiety are linked to the potential implications and specifically to ethical aspects, and we acknowledge that. I'm not going to stand in front of you today to sell a perfect vision of AI in education. This is not what I'm going to do today. Again, I recognize that things are changing at a rapid pace, and I believe we should listen to all voices as we are navigating this era, this transformation. I certainly try to do it myself. That's why I spend a lot of time myself meeting with educators like you, students like you, policymakers, researchers, entrepreneurs, and edtech companies from around the world, not just in the US. And it's in that discourse that I'm seeing the progress we are making and also discovering interesting and novel ways to address and mitigate these fears that we just discussed. Let's talk a bit about Google and its part in learning and education. So Google has always been a learning company. Our mission, as you see here on the screen, is not new. It's been our North Star from day one to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. As you can see, the connection to information, knowledge, and learning is deeply ingrained. It's been part of our DNA since day one. At its essence, Google is a place where users worldwide turn to find answers, explore, discover and expand horizons, and express creativity. And today, GenAI is amplifying our ability to meet that endless curiosity of billions around the world. Oftentimes at Google, we use the word learning alongside education because we believe curiosity is part of learning, and it's a lifelong pursuit, not limited to our days in, traditional education, institutional education. And we see AI as a force to unlock human curiosity. I think, and you can take a look at the screen, I think part of the excitement we are feeling these days is because the foundational research that's unlocking what we are all experiencing every day these days has actually taken a long time to mature and to reach where we are today. I feel proud to see this timeline because it's been an intense and deep research journey to ensure that this is not just a powerful technology that can easily be abused. I think it's important to reflect on that. We recently introduced Gemini 2.5 Pro, the world's leading model for learning. It can transform content across different modalities, taking text and turning it into pictures and videos. I'll show you a few examples in a minute. Summarizing and generating new content based on your prompts. Gemini can be your assistant, your collaborator, your partner for making decisions, brainstorm, offer recommendations, and do so much more using just plain natural language as an interface. When we talk about education in the Gen AI era, it almost feels like it's all about promoting a wish and making it come true with these capabilities. I'd like to show you one capability we announced in May on the I/O event that empowers users to explore and create human-inspired, AI-powered short videos. This is just one example of how we can make prompts or educational wishes come true in classrooms for students. Let's watch the Sparkify video, Sparkify experiment. I hope that it would, yeah, it works. Okay.
Behold, a vibrant green powder more than just tea. This is matcha, a story centuries in the making. Our journey begins.
Imagine a world without weekends, where dawn to dusk meant only toil. This was once reality for millions. Industry surged, but its human cost?
First, the classic downward dog, a perfect arch, the moment of serene stretch. But to a certain fluffy ginger Persian, this is clearly an exciting new tunnel. Next, Warrior 2.
Not just rock, but a story etched in bone. A monumental discovery unfolds. The curve of a rib, the imprint of scales, each detail a clue to a world unimaginably ancient. And as we look closer...
Yeah, it's nice, huh? So remember, this is just one example, and I think that this experiment truly highlights what AI can do when designed specifically, especially for learning. I still remember when my colleague Miriam showed it to me for the first time. It was mind-blowing. It was 4 months ago. It was mind-blowing, and just imagine the potential of this experiment and similar ones in classrooms. That could be amazing. However, with the excitement these examples generate comes a keen awareness of valid concerns. These include the risk that Gen AI might encourage cheating or plagiarism, alongside questions surrounding bias, privacy, security, and safety. Furthermore, some recent studies, even from MIT here, have focused on the potential decline of critical thinking, given how much easier Gen AI can make tasks. This topic is very nuanced, and I'll touch on it later in my presentation. I'd like to propose a framework that demonstrates how we are addressing concerns and sentiments while operating responsibly. This framework is built on 2 tiers, the first consisting of grounding generative AI in pedagogy, or in short, pedagogy, using pedagogy, building for safety and privacy, and elevating AI literacy. These foundations help us unlock the potential to empower educators and personalize learning for students like never before. In the end of the day, our goal is to foster curiosity, as I said before, make learning and teaching more effective, engaging, and efficient, having teachers feel fulfilled and students achieve greater success, and providing what we call, again, it's very, we try to simplify things just for this delivery. We always talk about, with my team, how we can provide an AI tutor for every learner and a TA for every teacher. Let's begin with grounding in pedagogy. About a year and a half ago, we started a new endeavor called LearnLM, Learn Language Model. The idea was to create a language model that thinks and operates like a tutor. We understood that if we want generative and tutoring experiences to follow the best of learning science, we'd need to fine-tune Gemini and create an interaction with an agent that felt like the best possible tutor you could wish for. So, working with pedagogical experts and understanding learning science, we started to map out principles that would be the North Star for our model. And these are the principles. We see learning as a journey that involves both struggle and joy. We believe that learning is not supposed to be easy. It's not about just getting an answer. It's about how we work through complex challenges. So, our principles, as you can see on the screen, include inspire active learning, drive engagement through doing, manage cognitive load, deliver knowledge efficiently, not overwhelmingly, deepen metacognition, teach students how to think about their own thinking, stimulate curiosity, ignite the spark of discovery, and adapt to the learner. As you can see here in these screenshots, we've tested LearnLM and published technical reports with strong results. What's interesting about this model is that, as I said, it is thinking like a tutor. Based on that pedagogy, LearnLM was designed to be a quiz generator, a coach for comprehension, and much more. Here's an example. Lior, if you can click. Here's an example. What we are seeing here is an example of how we can re-level complicated text into simplified language for different grade levels. For instance, you can instantly adapt a highly technical text into a 7th grade friendly, engaging version and even see all the changes that were made. These capabilities enabled today in products like Google Classroom, and now it's available and free to all. This year, we announced that following the strong results we saw from LearnLM, we've now integrated LearnLM into Gemini. So now Gemini is infused with learning, science, and pedagogy. With Gemini and LearnLM combined, we are integrating these principles into all the products you are already familiar with, from YouTube to Search, Google Classroom, and the Gemini app. Back to our framework. Let's talk about safety and privacy. I know that you all care about it so much. For us, trust is the most valuable asset when it comes to our license to operate and our license to innovate. We've built our models with safety and security in mind. When it comes to privacy, I can share that Gemini received the highest possible verification of its privacy policies specifically for education. This level of quality extends to Gemini for Education. It's a version of Gemini built for the needs of schools and institutions and universities, with access to our premium AI models and enterprise-grade data protection. This means educational institutions of all sorts, shapes, and sizes can use cutting-edge AI with peace of mind that their data is protected by industry-leading security. Take Notebook LM, for example. By the way, who's familiar here with Notebook LM? Oh my God, the majority of our audience is familiar with Notebook LM. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. So we'll get to it in a minute, but I want to say that we want you, again, take Notebook LM as an example. We want you to know that your personal data, the sources you upload, the responses that you get, is never used in our training processes when it comes to our Gemini for Education version. It stays private to you, the teacher, to you, the learner. Another aspect of safety, a critical one that I'm really, really proud of, relates to the factuality of outcomes from GenAI experiences. Students, have you heard about factuality, grounding? When we talk about Gen AI, factuality is key. As we all know, LLMs can hallucinate from time to time. And as you all know, these technologies are not magic. They are all based on statistics and science. So there's always an error margin we need to be aware of. We take this very seriously, especially when it comes to education. That's why we are conducting research in these areas, and this is my team that is responsible for this research. We've recently published a benchmark of Gen AI models based on factuality criteria. We call it FACS, and we are happy to see Gemini scoring very high on this benchmark. This is a continuous effort. It's not something you wake up to someday with 100% factuality across the board. Therefore, we are monitoring, reviewing, coming up with grounding research for this topic constantly. We are also giving our users tools like double check factuality and grounding by themselves. When you use this Gemini app, and I'm sure that you saw these three little dots, you can just click them and you'll have an option to double check the responses that you get from Gemini, and you'll get a sort of color coding of the response, where we are benchmarking it against other information on Google search. We want to be very transparent with our users and even educate our users to apply critical thinking. That's the goal, okay? Don't get it, the answers that you get that are generated for you as is. You can double check if these responses are grounded in other sources as well. Back to our framework. At the end of the day, simply putting new technologies into users' hands is not enough for them to be critical thinkers about AI. That's why we recognize the need for everyone to be constantly elevated on what AI truly entails. Okay, let's talk about AI literacy. We truly believe that this should be a national agenda. It was mentioned before as well. And Lior, if you can go to one example that I want to show our audience today. I want to show you one project that I'm personally sponsoring and very excited about. It's part of our AI literacy wide portfolio, but mindful of time, I want to show you one example. Maybe you can advance the slide, Lior, to the AI Quests project. Yes. So this one is called AI Quests. This is a gamified experience that I'm personally sponsoring. No coding needed. It's just, a sort of game where students like you can step into the shoes of a researcher trying to solve real-world planetary or societal challenges such as flood forecasting or diseases. In these quests, students learn by doing, very similar to the examples that Hal showcased just earlier. We started developing AI quests with our great collaborators. I think they are here today. The Stanford Accelerator for Learning, Victor Lee, are you here? Hi, Victor. Great collaborators of ours. And you know what? Let's just roll the video and see what I mean when I say AI quests. Okay.
Welcome to AI Quests. We've been waiting for someone like you. You're about to begin a journey through our world. As you travel, you'll meet different inhabitants and learn about the challenges in their region. Your mission is to help them by applying powerful AI responsibly to their problems. Each quest will teach you about a real-life AI research project that's making an impact back on Earth. The AI technology you'll experience is amazing, but it's not magic. Success depends on the decisions you make. You'll need to collect good data, train your AI to make smart choices, and test it to make sure it's reliable. The universe is counting on you. Are you ready?
Okay, this is one example. We are getting great reviews on this, and very soon it will be deployed in schools worldwide, which is very exciting. I want to show a few examples. I don't have much time for educators as well. Maybe we can skip to just a sec. I have so many great things to show you, but I don't have enough time. Okay, 49. Now imagine, teachers, that you are a history teacher for 6th graders and you want to teach them about the decline of the Roman Empire. Gemini Deep Research, I don't know how many of you are familiar with this feature, but it can basically go through dozens of online sources. As you can see, read everything, synthesize everything, and generate a report for you. Okay, something that you couldn't do it yourself. You could, but it would take you hours to do that. This is one example. Another one, Lior, if you can go to, I promised you, right? I promised you to show something about Notebook LM. So, 58, or actually 60. Notebook LM, for
Imagine
those
a
of you
world
who are
where
not familiar with that, it's a new feature. Actually, it's not so new. You know, you can actually have a couple of narrators, a male and female, reflecting on the topic that you want them to reflect on. You upload sources and it comes up with a podcast actually about your topic, and this is a great way to digest materials, to understand materials, and learn. So maybe we can...
world where one single empire. Imagine a world where one single empire stretched all the way from, say, modern Armenia right across to the Atlantic. Think about its roads, these incredible networks crossing continents, its big bustling cities, and this.
Okay, I think you got it, right? I think you got it, and I'm very happy to hear that you are already using it. 2 minutes just to finalize my my point, the point I want to make. Maybe you can go to 69. I want to say that we cannot do anything today in this world when everything is changing at such a rapid pace without doing it together. Together, educators, learners, entrepreneurs, policymakers, you name it. We have to do everything together and bridge perspectives in order to do it right, okay? And we have lots of great partners. We are very privileged to work with great partners, including MIT, RAISE, and I'm going to say thank you, but just so you know, I wanted to talk about many, many more examples. Maybe I can share it with the organizers and they can maybe put it in on the website or something like that. Maybe that could be helpful. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.